You're funny, man, really.
Yeah, man, you too, man. Like a clown, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm not funny, man.
Let's go, boys. Time to go to work. Let's show them who's boss.
That's it, guys. Now
Ladies.
they're ours.
Imagine Twitch chat right now.
We want you to look your best, and luckily, you can. All you got to do is go to shop.eleague.com. 20% off all the goods Eleague merch you can get. Use that code Csgo19. Discount ends Sunday night after the championship.
There's a lot of goods there at the Eleague shop.
A lot of goods, indeed.
All the goods that you need. Welcome back, everybody, to the desk here. What a game it was. Faze managed to squeak on by with a 16-14 victory there on Cash. Wasn't looking good. I'll be very honest.
It looked like they got solved by the end. But honestly, it looked bad for Big in the beginning, too.
It really did. It was such a back-and-forth game between Faze and Big, but a good way to start the day off for all of us watching. I'm sure for them on the stage, not so much.
Yeah, it certainly woke us up. And I mean, it was a tough start to the day for Xantares, who we had hyped up. He had a really rough way to get into this game. He had that 4-kill round, and that was about it for a while. I think the big difference for me early on was Rain.
Yeah.
On this CT side, he's like a heat-seeking missile for impact kills. Something about the way he plays or the way he selects which fights and which angles he takes, he's always able to find that one player who just makes the rest of the attack just collapse and be ineffective.
Indeed, yeah. This was the first time in the entire event I think we've seen Xantares feel like a mortal in the server.
Yeah.
He was at the bottom of the scoreboard for his team, which is honestly something that Big can't afford. I was actually shocked they were able to keep the score as close as they were, given how, I guess, poorly Xantares was playing. Even on that last round, that wide swing from default, I mean, yeah, you can see he feels it right there.
Yeah, that's not a good look. It's not what you want out of one of your star players. I mean, this was pretty scrappy. I'm surprised Big stayed in this. Those two B rushes back-to-back that FaZe had felt like they could have gone either way. And I think the interesting thing is with this roster change coming in and leading into the major, this is probably another cache that Big is going to look at like Cloud9 and say, we kind of let this one slip away, because it seemed like in some of those 2v2s or 3v2s, some awkward timings that allowed FaZe to get into the bomb site that I think in the future, when they get more experience communicating and playing with each other, I don't think that will happen nearly as much.
But then there were also times, though, that you were talking about, like, FaZe getting into the bomb site, but then they just weren't planting. They weren't, like, why was that? Like, I'm having a hard time understanding.
B-rushes get crazy at times. They get a bit weird.
I feel like I've rarely seen a B-rush, though, where both the B players go down within 5 seconds and there's no bomb plant. That was such a bizarre round from FaZe, and I would be so tilted if I were, YNK or Nico after a round like that, and they call it again, and it's like this, almost like a similar type of environment.
It's close to identical. I think that would be fun to like ask Rain about afterwards, because he was the player with the bomb in both those scenarios. And I imagine the first time at the very least, when he's into the bomb site, he realizes, I think it was like a 3-on-3 at that point, and he might have had an escape route towards A, and I think he had just been playing so well that he was just kind of going with what his gut was telling him. Second time, felt like a lost round, might as well get the bomb plant, the extra money, but either way, they squeak it out in the end, so none of that matters in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, we definitely had some crazy rounds, and Sean, I understand you want to break down one of the rounds in that game as well.
Yeah, this is actually FaZe's first gun round in that second half, and it just kind of goes to show this playstyle of both teams. So FaZe is approaching this entire match with super fast-paced strats, not getting bogged and caught down behind, Big's utility. So Olaf's going to throw a smoke way over the wall that's going to blow up backside. They're going to throw a smoke on the fly for Highway, and they're just full-out rushing A. And what this does is it pulls Tizian from Highway to A site, and it allows Olaf to get a flank. Now, he's not very impactful, but you can see the idea behind what FaZe is going for here. And Big does an excellent job, and you can see Gavi launching flashes, to the front of the site for Tabson and Tizian to take their fights. But the mid-game aspect that FaZe brings to this 2-on-3 is what impresses me the most. Because it's actually shocking that Big comes out on top once Olaf gets that kill at Truck. At this point, it's a 2-on-1 on the site guy. Smooth is alone in spawn. Nico gets that frag. And Smooth hits a really nice shot here on Olaf to get it into a 1-on-1. And then again, another nice shot on Nico to win the 1-on-1. So, I mean, this was an absolute crazy round. And I think FaZe had the game plan of bringing these fast-paced strats throughout the entire game to avoid getting caught.
Well, you can see this too. It's like that's probably a perfect round to highlight the fact that FaZe like it felt like they were outclassed tactically a number of times, and that was another one where it felt like Big, with the way they rotated to the bomb site and regained control of it, we're just gonna flat out win that round. And in a 2-on-3, Nico and Olaf, like they're clever players and they're very talented players. They're gonna find a way to even that out, but it is just sometimes surprising to see how disadvantaged they were in that situation and still able to even make it a 1-on-1.
Yeah, it speaks to the talent of those two players and what they bring for Faze, and again for Big though, to be able to regain like that, to regain control of the game. Smooth, big plays from him there as well. Well, I mean, yes, there's been some crazy moments without a doubt in that first matchup. Good for you guys is that Game 2 should be just as insane. But first, it's time for another one of the CSGO Trivia Challenge editions. That's right.
I think he's the only one that likes it.
He loves this.
We're just so
I
scared up here.
am digging it. Okay, well, let's see what the wheel of happiness brings us today. Which player said, if I am at my peak, no one can beat me? Ooh, okay.
Olaf had a similar quote that's not exactly the same, but it essentially means the same thing. He had it here at Eleague, so I almost want to go with Olaf, but I don't even think that's the right answer.
Do we have the options?
It's
Or-
any Faze player.
Oh, any Faze player. I'm gonna go Guardian.
You gonna go Guardian?
Okay, interesting stuff. I'm going to go with Olaf because I'm just going to bite off of Moses' pick.
It's not right. It's not. Don't
He's
do
been
Olaf.
right
It's-
all
I'm telling you,
weekend
it's not
long,
right right
so
now.
I'm just going to go with that. Sue, what about you? What do you think?
I'm really torn. I'm torn between Guardian and Olaf, but if I had to choose, I think it's Olaf. I think it's Olaf.
Oh
That's a
no, they've all done.
All right, we all went with Moses' choice because he's been
don't say it that
Well,
way.
if Moses is wrong,
perfect so
it's
far.
all his fault.
So let's hear the answer.
Oh God.
If I am at my peak, no one can beat me.
I knew it. I was never scared.
Yeah,
Jason's
right.
ego did not get that.
This guy. You know, this is probably like the best weekend for you prediction-wise. You're just nailing everything.
Oddly
buddy.
enough, it's not Golden Boy.
Why is that?
I've had plenty of 100% pick weekends.
Oh, whatever. Okay, well, I lost a point. Shangers, you have an F-.
You know, I think that's better than -9. So.
I've got
Okay.
a tax sheet apparently.
Well, I mean, tax season is right around the corner. So that one makes Sue, always check out your 401k, kids. That's very important. And then for some reason, Bardolph and DDK got a bye. This doesn't make any sense.
Those chickens didn't even want to play.
I'm just going to proclaim that I am winning. Anyway, moving on, though, because I have the power to do that. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to go to Train. This was Faze's pick. Can they end it out 2-0 and get revenge against Cloud9, or will Big manage to bounce back for that Game 3? We'll see you on the other side. All right, everyone's getting their seat in the Cheese It Grooves Lounge. Look at that. Good looking people over there. All right. Welcome, everyone. As we get set for game number 2, we're going to be going over to Train now. You know, I mean, I think like when you think about like the grand scheme of things with Faze and how they've been able to play in this whole game, one guy you really got to highlight here is Rain. Honestly, this was his best map on Cash this tournament. Huge performance for him there. You had mentioned him when we were breaking it down, and Faze on Train 1-0 as well. So overall, I mean, good stats for them, right? It is only 1 win, but still, that's 1 win more than Big has on this particular map, and it's their pick.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going into a map like this with a brand new roster as well, or a tournament like this, I should say, there usually is only like one map you're going to feel actually confident and comfortable, and everything else is kind of see what happens on it. But Rain's certainly a player. He has some iconic moments on Train. We used to talk about him as this being like almost like a home map for him, where he could play very well. And another map where impact kills can have such a huge thing to do with the way that you can kind of work your way through the train yards.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cash, as well as Train, suits Rain very well because he takes those mid-range fights. He's so good at tapping and bursting the M4 as well as the AK. And
not the AUG.
Not the AUG, based on the stats we've seen on Faze. But he doesn't care. He's going to phase up.
Oh, he phased up, dude.
That looked like he was aggressive, though.
It was an aggressive one, just thrown in your face. All right, predictions. Let's go into this. Are we going to game 3, Moses, or is Faze closing this one out right here?
Yeah, I think this big team is too good, and they've come too close against Faze in the first map and Cloud9 yesterday to just go out 0-2 in this series. I think we have to look at this and say there's going to be a third map.
I think, can I like use Moses' eraser head and like erase my pick and go to Faze now?
It's too late now, baby.
Too late now, buddy.
My head's turned into the Death Star. There's no eraser here.
I think Faze takes this 2-0.
Oh, man. And he picked big as well. Interesting how things change. Okay, well, now we're going to get ready to scoot on over to our casters for game number 2 on Train. You got Bardolph and DDK on the mic.
Thank you. We are at the Boost Mobile casting desk, and we're looking forward to this map. But before we get into this, we have a tattoo off on social media. People have been getting some ink, so we've got a Faze clan on a shin, it looks like. So we've got a Faze supporter, and that is really serious on both the arms, of course. So rather you than me. Props for that.
Nice. The bear claw. It is actually an awesome logo. They have a really cool logo. I like it a lot. So I respect that. And speaking of which, James, this is they're going to need to bring out the bear claws for this map because, like Sean, I can see why he's changed his prediction. Although I don't respect it, I can understand it. It's something where Faze is starting to really heat up here, and Big had a lot of trouble there. Though we have that silver lining. They started to come to life towards the end. It will be a better map for Smira. I'm sure of it. Hopefully we'll get to see Xantares get warm as well. Let's do it, where the freeze time is about to deplete, and here it is. CT side for Big on Train. Map 2 here. The winner will go against Cloud9 in the grand finals today, the Eleague Invitational. Faze on that T side. They got that stacked utility on Andren and Nico.
Tizian close to the B ramp. May hear these players, well, at least the first player, jumping down into the pop dog position. Might get hungry. Xantares rotating from B towards A now. Big are expectant. Grenades flying into the A side. 4 people around pop dog. Are they really going into A? Or is it a fake? Indeed, they're going wide. They've made some space for themselves with the smokes, I think. Got beat around the smoke. Has to be taken out in the meantime. Spamming while he falls back. We've got CTs on the high ground. And Big are lighting up the kill feed. Guardian and Olofmeister. Olaf has made his way into B, telling Guardian, come and rotate. I'm in the back. He's dead now, of course. Guardian now needs to get a bomb down. Worst case scenario, he can get a default plant. You can see hasn't stopped to take that fight. Just gets the bomb down instead. Now, any kills would be a bonus, of course. The round win is unlikely, but not impossible. Taps the head, but doesn't quite get the kill. Moving as fast as he can. Giving Santu's weight. Jumping burst fire. Does all he can, but he can't get any more frags.
He's just got swarmed. There's a bundle of players there on top of him, and that'll be it. So I should say, you know, the defuse will come in. The bomb was planted. That's really good news for Faze, despite losing their round. And this is kind of, you know, what I would love to see, because I could absolutely see a force buy now from Faze. They've got that extra money from the plant. They love to keep that pressure up. Right now, I think they really feel that skill, that, you know, the players are firing off. They feel confident. They want to get out there, is how I would interpret this. Could even see an AK drops for somebody. You know, that could be fun as well. Big, they get that start where they get to get those MP9s out. The M4s are coming out as well. So It's a stark difference to the start that Big had on the previous map, but they just need to make good of it and convert here, because it looks like there is no force buy, only some PT50s.
I think players like Smooya might find some comfort taking the angles on the CT side once the AWP comes out. Might be a nice way for him to start on this map. Oh, careful. That's a chunk taken away. There was an interesting round, I forget what game it was, where Astralis were on a T side and they had a bunch of deagles in a round such as this. And rather than try to push through choice points, they just continued to hold angles where there was a very limited space where CT could re-peek them, so they had a higher chance of just getting a 1-deag, and just held in those points, and the opponent, I forget who it was, but they took the baits and just got eaten alive by Desert Eagles. Not something you see very often, but I was very curious with the long, tight channels you see on Train, so I would like to see more of that.
Ooh, Nico goes to the peak. You always know he's capable. And there's definitely a lot of tension in a round like this. Big do not want to drop a single player, and they managed to make it work. Beautiful stuff from Big. Absolutely what they had to do. But the thing is that they see that no money was spent there. They know that the bomb plant went down for Faze in the first round, so they know that it's a huge buy coming their way. All the nades here for Faze. So will they go slow or fast?
Big buy from Faze. No AWP money just yet. If they win the round, it would be, after losing a pistol, a good start for them. So we'll see if they can do that. Short-term goals again. Initial grenades being set up to suggest a breach into the A side. But speaking of breach, Smooya's gone further than you might expect. Not going to peek all the way down. Going to be happy with that. Some teams in this situation would smoke this position off and make it more obvious. Taking a trend spotting, and God B has gone huge in the meantime. Taking the game into their own hands are Big. Smooya gets one trade, it's 3 versus 2. Now there's only SMGs left for Big. Not the most ideal situation. A minute 20 for Faze Clan with AKs and a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, really good aggression coming from Big. That pop flash play from God B was nice. It's a shame it all backfired on them. And now Faze have advantage. Over a minute. 2 AKs, they got the run of the map. And as you say, those MP9s, you want those at close range. And when you don't know where your opponents are coming from, and you're on a map like Train, it can get quite difficult. A lot of time has passed. So Tizian's being very cautious here because they could already be upper in a variety of positions that would be very hard for him to handle. Smoke is thrown by Faze, which will keep Tizian entertained with that MP9. Tabson has upgraded to that org, that Smooya drop, so there's definitely a world where Big can do this. They have kits on both Tabson and Tizian. Big flank coming in from Tabson through T main. But Guardian's in a great position to backstab him if he goes too deep onto the site.
But looking at the time, this could be a very interesting situation. Ivy is very important to control when you want to plant the bomb. Nico expecting somebody to be there. Nobody stays. Actually, Molotov's his own teammate off, and that's going to cost him everything. That's a disaster. Oh no, surely there's no time. He can't even get around the corner, and it's a team kill. What a calamity. Oh my God, what in the blazes just happened there? No pun intended.
For a second, I'm like, is this some next level play where now they never expect Guardian to be there because of the Molotov, or like, you know, what's going on? But that had to just be a complete miscommunication. My God, Guardian's just like, what on earth? Oh no. Oh no.
He's nosed it right up. That is not the start they wanted. But again, there's always an upside, at least if you're the coach. Better it happens now in round number 3 than it happens in round number 23. Guardian taking some shots from Xantares' spray. Some warning for the carnage to come. Very, very difficult. Oh God, who knows how that round would have gone.
I know, right? That's pretty crazy. And again, it really serves to set up the map pretty well, because you do want to see Big sort of starting to get things together, get their feet in the ground. And this is a good start. They are starting to build some money. If they're clean on this one, they're going to be so disciplined. They've only got pistols, but it's 3 deagles in the hands of these Faze players. They can easily win a round with less. Especially on a map like Train, as you were talking about, James, you can get these quick little peaks and very fast headshots at range. It's very hard to trade it. So you'll be so careful of these deagles. Nice position from Tabs in the Org. doing the job. And now Faze decide to go to B.
Oh, here comes the numbers game, stuck in the choke point, moving down the ramp. Tizian there with Torres, bells being rung. There is a bomb on the floor, 4 HP for Olofmeister, and he will be the last one to fall. So a comfortable start from Big. Getting better now. And now the AWP is out instantly for Guardian. They've got the money Phase with max loss bonus. No plant for them. Doesn't matter too much though. Now the game can begin. Forget about all the rounds that have gone past. Start anew, Faze Clan. AWP for Smooya as well. I heard some guys in the crowd try and chant, but they were like, Smooya. But it's Smooya. You've got to get that off, because if you're from the UK, that's how you do it. And he's from the UK, so see if that happens later on. Moving through the Ivy position, and Guardian and Olaf are on the way, so we're going to see a big duel towards the Ivy area between these two teams. There's rifle support in God B. This is how you normally see it. They'll deploy some grenades in the meantime. Tizian having a look. Nice pre-fire from him. Big will quietly move back from this position, it seems. It's wasted a lot of time for Olofmeister and Guardian. Faze have been limited in what they can achieve because of all that nonsense down Ivy.
Yeah, it's really annoying. As you say, like it's also because if you feel like eventually you can't take Ivy, then it takes a long time to rotate into another position if you abandon it. So it just kills so much time, makes it very awkward. And the name of the game is, if you want to push on Ivy, is to then coordinate from those three angles at once: Pop Dog, T main, and then also Ivy. And that can be quite difficult, especially if the CTs are active, very overactive in one of those positions. And very spread out now, Faze. 40 seconds to plant the bomb. They start to group up towards inner. The Vedran is very cautious around T main. There's so much time has gone past, and they haven't had presence in T main. They have to be very careful, because you could very well expect the CT to be in there now.
It's a fake. Vedran slowly edging forward with the bomb in main. Guardian trying to sell the fake, but he has got 3 players in the B bomb site. Can the bomb get planted? Vedran's still going to make his way to the site. Big duels being had, and the bomb's being dropped with 12 seconds. It could be a disaster again. Down to the 2 versus 2, 9 seconds. The big question of staying alive. They win by elimination, Big, with 6 seconds on the clock. 5-0 for Big Clap.
That was pretty scary, though. A few of those 1 versus 1s looked a bit of a struggle there for Big, but as you say, they get the W in the end, 5-0. Their money still is not amazing, considering the 5-0. Faze have been very often doing a lot of damage, taking down a lot of players. And so that really doesn't put Big in the greatest position, as, you know, eventually they'll probably lose a round to Faze, and they'll probably only have 1 buy left in them if they're lucky at this point. And we're going to see Faze actually going for a buy up here as we get the tactical timeout for them. And, oh.
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Loved Turkish mangal. Food is really good over there. Had a good time in Istanbul. Nice photoshops. Good stuff.
It's from Predator, right?
I didn't know Turkish people were black, but I'll take it. The AK is coming out again for Faze Clan. They have limited nades, but they may have enough. We'll have to wait and see. Smooya will continue with the AWP. Got 2 more scopes in the orgs of Tabson and Tizian. Tizian will start alone towards the B bomb site. Santoros throws some smoke, grenades from Connector, maybe to help Tizian, indeed. And Rain is going for it. He was 0 and 5, gets his first kill. And he might just have the B bomb site, but there's no one to really rotate, so they're going to make a play into A while he draws everybody towards B.
That's a rotation and a half. They've all just rotated massively towards that bomb site. Smooya, he's the one that can make the difference here. He needs to be able to hold Connector for his team to come back out. We're seeing players come out from all bomb. That's a beautiful tap though from Nico, eliminating Xantara straight away. The barrel of the gun spotted of Smooya. He is dead and he doesn't even know it just yet. Maybe not that flash kind of thing from a teammate, and it causes progress, but still Smooya goes down. Guardian defends against Tabson from old bomb, and all of a sudden, that one play from Rain pulled everyone out of position, and that has screwed Big entirely. And again, James, they don't have much bank at all.
I wonder if it was the grenades that Xantares was throwing to support Tizian from the Connector position towards B that gave Rain the idea that maybe they were making a play with a heavy A presence. So he took an opportunity and basically won them the rounds. Massive play from them. Have to assume that there's an army behind it, but everybody else was around A main. Samir couldn't find position. He had to move further and further back and try to stop the barrel of his gun from giving him away, which gave him no vision. And FaZe get their first round on the board. 4 players look to survive for them. A great opportunist play from Rain. That's what you call an impact frag.
Yep, that is very true. Entry fragging is quite difficult, very high risk, but the rewards can be very, very high as well, as we can see there. And there is that man. And they set up the discussion around Rain on the desk that this is somewhat of a home map for him, or historically has been. And Mr. Lido thinks it will be a tough game for FaZe, but despite the start being tough, it didn't feel like Big were hitting a flow. And again, it's really reflected in the fact that pretty consistently, round by round, FaZe were getting a lot of economic damage and getting lots of kills on the big players. And in this round, despite Godby saving a gun, it's still not like an easy argument to go for a full buy. And in fact, they're not going to do it because they just don't quite have enough.
Some players on $2,500, $3,000 would be ruinous for their money to attempt a force buy in this situation, but see an MP9 on Xantaros along with the Silence Them 4 of Godby. Godby Forest, I can't think of any other Silence Them 4 players right now off the top of my head. Samir and Godby making inroads towards that pop dog position. That's a dangerous weapon. He'll get some one taps from there with the 5-7. And it seems they're going to take A main as well, but they're a bit late beyond the, after the flashbangs. An easy kill for Arthur. How has he done that, Godby? That may be a weapon they go to pick up later on. Of course, it comes with its risk, but FaZe will be trying to make inroads towards B-bomb site in the meantime. Smoke drops as late as possible by Big, and they move in up top with 3 players. Godby, those on the way to Spall's position. Almost getting the kill there. Spot trade's going down the ladder. There's one looking for a second one, running out of bullets, but Tizian and Smee with the pistols, leaving Guardian alone 1 versus 3 with the AWP.
And there it is, MP9 finishes the job. What a round from Godby though, that's incredible. Obviously that first swing onto Olofmeister, here it is. This is a bold play and it's absolutely stunning. And then he continues to be such a presence on the B bomb side as well, just jumping up onto the coils and jumping straight off again. And that distracts 2 players. And then he gets a kill on a 3rd player that's on the bomb site. He's occupying 3 players whilst his pistoling teammates start to surround them. Incredible round from the leader, Godby.
Start to wonder if FaZe Clan will be able to keep focus with this kind of start on train. Back down to the pistols very, very quickly indeed. Olofmeister 4,900, Adren 1,900. Very big differences on the side. Smee gets some target practice in the IV position. And again, an emotional player. Every frag will be good for the confidence. Olofmeister picking the P250. There is a deagle for Nico. We know what he's capable of with that. And the damage is important. We can see with this full buy from Big, Tabson, for example, has $300, Godby 450, so there's plenty of impact to be had.
The funny thing is that I have a feeling, like, no matter which team comes out with the win and plays Cloud9, we know that both teams have already played Cloud9, and this series has been amazing both times, so it doesn't really matter, it seems, as far as the stylistic matchup is concerned. We're going to get a quality finals, hopefully, one way or another. To get themselves through those choke points, and you can see that they'll be allowed to move past the choke points, but it's because they've been given that space. Big are very confident. You can see why. They've got superior weapons at these ranges, and they'll finish it off 7-1. And it was a very shaky first 5 rounds despite winning them, and they were immediately in this situation where they couldn't afford to buy. But Big have recovered pretty well, and it's not until round 9 once again that FaZe have a chance to threaten this big lead from Big and turn this half around.
There's Nico with all the orange boxes for Train, but only good for 1 round so far. Godby and Xantares sharing the spoils for Big, 7-1 at the moment. Godby leading by example, 10-4-3 at present. Tabson just 1 behind with 9. Godby, one of the Fragger in-game leaders, moving towards Ivy once again. Meanwhile, there's a push from Big with 2 players. But how deep do they want to go into this? They know there are 2 players here now, but the bomb has been taken away from Nico. Hasn't dropped into the lower area. Could be worse, but that's still a very exposed position. If, for example, they had an AWP to post up on that, that would be very problematic for FaZe Clan. And they have no idea. That's a possibility that they have to consider, despite Samir being over towards Ivy.
And you might think to yourselves, why would they throw the smoke in that position? Well, we see the pop flash there coming into Oh, that's a very unfortunate one for God B. Looked like he had that. Smia goes to follow it up, he misses. Oh, he's able to get away though, Adren. He knew that maybe there's an opportunity there. That Smia hasn't backed away all the way. The back 10 spam. Oh, Smia trying to crash in the smoke, trying to avoid it. What a tumultuous journey backwards as he tries to survive and retreats, and he does manage to do so. But to finish the point before, they smoked that position just to waste time for FaZe Clan, and there's 50 seconds left. And FaZe Clan have set up a nice B attack. They've got the Lurker and Adren on Ivy. This is not a bad setup for FaZe.
Yeah, they have collected the bomb as well, we must note. Santara's looking and just walking into Pop Dog, nobody's there, so he could be on a fast flank. Adren now may pull players towards the A site because Ivy is such an important position, but in fact, FaZe are going towards Ivy, sorry, towards Pop Dog, but Santara's still on the ladder. Oh, he's made it awkward, but he still gets the kill. Now where does the bomb go? Tizian's on the B bomb site, 25 seconds. The players are left alone now, just 2 players. Tizian, he's up top. They're never going to expect this. What a weird angle from him. Down he goes, 17 seconds now. Guardian is about to lose his AWP. 8 rounds for Big, 1 round for FaZe Clan.
Wow, perfect positioning from Tizian. That's so awesome to see. It's just like, I can't believe Xantara's got that fact. He's on the ladder. They're convinced they're going towards B. They suddenly change gears, go back, and he's in such an awkward position, running backwards, I think, and spraying. Somehow finds a headshot with the AK from below. I mean, imagine if he didn't have an AK. Probably dies there.
I thought it was only Oscar who could do those kind of things on the ladder in Pop Dog.
Indeed.
Tactical timeout from Nico again. Since Yanko has joined the team, there's a lot more discussion, a lot more timeouts from FaZe,
yes,
which is great to see. So definitely using the 6 players they have, if you will, the 6 members.
Yep, and also like the last match we saw on the first map on Cash, we saw them using, like, I think they ran out of timeouts, I think by round 28 or something like that. So it was timed out pretty well in using those timeouts in the most important moments in the game. And the last timeout that they took, Yanko gave them a strat which they executed, and it just flawlessly worked to put them in a position to win. So you can absolutely agree with you, James. Very vital part, proving an instant success so far in the short term, at least.
Yeah, but some people at home might look at the score and be like, everything he's doing is not working. But of course, you can lay out a strategy. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed to work, especially when you have somebody like God B on the other side who's very active and pays attention to what you're doing and will evolve his team and adjust very quickly indeed. He's a resistant virus. Anti-eco time for Big. Got 3 players moving towards the Ivy position. This time there's less attention from Big, but they are, of course, positioned to deal with it from the site itself. And Torres can easily do a 180 with Tabson towards Pop Dog. His back is covered. Towards main as well, so there is no cause for concern just yet. So we're going to have a look as the last 2 players are now towards the Ivy position. All of Mice are moving back toward main. Again, kills very important. Good for $6,000. That's a nice shot from Smooya and a good indication of what might be to come from him.
Indeed. His first kill coming from camera. Very nice and safe position. Do they call that something else in North America, James? Camera?
Do you mean stop sign?
Yes.
Around the bomb train?
Yes.
Camera or stop sign? Some people say one, some people say the other one.
Yeah, always feel like a nice cozy position. Not much for Olofmeister to do here, perhaps. He doesn't actually pick up that scout, though, so using those traces, trying to see what he can get. And this is brilliant because Big, finally, they're starting to have clean rounds, James. They're actually building economy now. They've got a great security blanket. It's actually, this is crazy how after the struggle of those first like 6, 7, 8 rounds for Big, finally they look like they've hit some momentum, some flow, building that bank, and now FaZe look like they're really struggling, and they are. I mean,
well, look at that statistic.
Yeah.
Tells you all you need to know, really. Definitely wasn't producer Ben doing the maths, because it looks correct. No one has more than 5 kills on FaZe Clan in 10 rounds. Pop Flash to stop any fast initial plays. Fur from MIBR did a nice video about Train, actually, about using some grenades for position enough. Look for it later as FaZe Clan get their first opening frag in this round. Smokes to obscure the vision of Smooya around that position. Oh, we've got players stuck on the site. 2 players falling to Molotovs. Smooya through the smoke like Rambo, but not quite having the right ending. Santaras and Tizian remain versus Nico Olofmeister and Guardian. The T's have control of the IV position for now. It certainly helps with a bomb plant, but Pop Dog's a question mark. Tizian on the bomb train. Santares on old bomb. where the bomb used to be planted in older iterations of CS.
Ooh.
That's a meaty one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's damage all over the place there.
No lettuce in that
And
burger.
this is not too bad. Look, they're holding position. They're waiting for those pushes. And Nico, how have you managed to pull that one off? So patient. He knew that was coming. That push was coming. He was so ready for that. So ready. And that's an enormous pickup from Faze because it really looked like that was anyone's.
They could still get 6 rounds out of this half. That would be fantastic considering the way this has gone. So very, very important round to get for FaZe Clan. And they can quickly sap the money of Big. Again, about $6,000 per person. That quickly disappears. I think the previous round for me started with a clean $12,000. And that won't last very long. Down to 5 now. Again, Xantares and God B making an investment towards that pop dog position. In the meantime, Rain is ready to get aggressive towards B. Showing some presence with some Molotovs and so on. And that may cause a rotation of a second player towards the B bomb site. Xantares moving towards Connector now, but not quite going towards B. And now he is, of course. Smooya taken out towards Ivy. Guardian saying hello. Now Xantares will have to pick up those Rain flashbangs. And God B will get taken out by Olaf Meister, who will fall back to safety.
Yeah, starts to get a bit desperate now for Big. They just don't have enough players to defend, so they're going to make a play. Tizian's going to try to see if he can get some info here towards Inner, seeing if they're going towards this bomb site and see if he can get the flank going. Rain's watching for it. You've got to be so careful. You've got to know exactly where to stop. This is beautiful from Tizian. He should get this one. It's beautiful crosshair placement as well. He's done it. He's taken down Rain. And now FaZe have to make a decision. Do they try to double down and break through Tizian, or do they just commit into this A bomb site? They have the numbers, whichever they pick. So they should still have the advantage, but they have to be decisive. A late smoke to Pop Dog. That's pretty beautiful there for Big. They won't have to worry quite as much about that position. And here comes the setup here for FaZe. They've got to get the slam dunk on this A bomb site, otherwise this is going to go very bad.
One more Molotov for Big towards the bomb site, but the push seems to be coming towards A. The numbers game. Trying to avoid a flashbang, can't avoid the bullets though. Xantares with the AWP. He's got a lot to do. Spots one player around E-Box, trying to reposition. He's got to be careful though. If he creeps wide, they'll see his legs first. There'll be a free shot for the team. And now he is the last one left. And he's come back out again. There's 10 seconds. Can he stop the bomb planter? Are they going to look the right way? Down to the pistol, back to the AWP. 7 seconds to plant the bomb. Does he run across? He knows someone's already going to be covering. And Guardian will be doing it. A very laboured round for FaZe Clan, but they win by elimination. They've cleaned out so much money for Big, which will help the comeback.
And I wonder if there was a miscommunication there or what exactly happened, because we saw that 180 there. I think it was Gob who was very deep on that off angle in the towards between T-Con and Pop Dog, and he just goes to that 180 after the first kill. Obviously, if he holds that position, he's getting the second kill. So maybe they just made that call on the comms that they really thought that there was someone coming Pop Dog as well, and so he was worried about that trade kill coming out. Or, as you say, could have been dodging the flashbang. Whatever it was enough for FaZe to take the round, and now they've got a chance. If they win this one, they break the economy, and they might very well get to that 6-round scoreline and have recovered what otherwise was been a horrible half for them. But still more in the tank here for Big. Still an AWP on Smooya.
Smooya's cleared out the whole of Ivy, and he's looking all the way down towards main. Big already have a larger investment towards the bomb site with Tizian and Xantares, and Tabson in a rotating position. It seems they'll be happy with that for now, but Godby can hear Adren moving back towards A main. He will reposition accordingly, and that will draw Tabson out and Xantares. So again, the monster is starting to move back towards the A side for Big, and there's a shot from Smooya. Now what do FaZe Clan do? They know the information that Big have. How do they react to that?
And Adren has been playing a lurking position on Ivy in a few rounds, so they may read that as definitely, okay, if Adren's dying there, they're probably around Pop Dog and Inner. That appears to be the reason so far. They're playing a safe rotation, keeping 2 players there ready to see if there's a dive down Pop Dog. You know, one of those quick fakes, attack B, go back down the ladder, and quickly hit the train, the A-bomb train. And there's smokers there on Pop Dog as well. Right now, Big are set up very well. FaZe are going to have to get some incredible entry kills here. It's going to be very tough, though. Tabson goes close. He goes in. The pop flash, absolutely phenomenal. Tabson with 3. It's so beautiful for Big. That's exactly what they needed. And they finish it off. Smooya, he had a great round as well with that AWP. Perfectly read from Big.
Unbelievable. That is a $10,000 flashbang. Shut down the round completely. Note how they deployed that before the smoke had gone as well. They were so confident in the lineup. I was like, how on earth do you know where that's even going? And that was beautiful. Menacing. 3 players taken out, and there's only 1 guy left after that. Smashing stuff. Well, we'll see if that happens. Big have 2 more rounds to fight for now in this first half. Faze down to the pistols. What a beautiful flashbang. Learn that one at home.
That was straight through with the broken glass.
I watched him shooting out the glass on our second monitor before he threw that flash as well. That was beautiful.
Big man, they got the flashbangs. That is just you got to respect that. It's
God be flashbangs.
Yes, absolutely.
He has taught his team well.
Frags. There we go. Yes, get your tap game on. God B feels good for Big right now. Ah, yes. You love to see it. You love to see that from God B. Gets himself the 4K on the anti-eco, and now it's the final round. Can they get the 12-3? Can they shut it down for FaZe in this first half? Or will we see something, a comeback, one more round from FaZe? Galila's out in rain, but otherwise, AWP on Guardian. Guardian's been struggling to get the openings for his team so far, though.
Yeah, it's not the easiest if you know your angles on the CT side to be the can opener for the T side. There is risk with jumping into these angles. FaZe Clan going towards Ivy hasn't been so successful for them with Smuya and Godby on occasion. They've made it somewhat random when they choose to go there with 2 people, the big side. But Smuya will throw a flashbang to show some presence. He will hear a flash surely, but he's moved away. Oh, shot Nico in the bum, leaving him with 11 HP and a walking stick. And FaZe know that Smuya holds the Ivy position. They're just going to try and run and trade. He's gone to the point of no return around the corner, takes his shot, but he's ready to stand his ground. 46 HP for Smuya. The Molotov, he's still ready. Not deep enough for Olaf Meister, but Smuya's been taken out by Guardian, who was halfway up the Ivy position. So 4-on-4, there's a minute on the clock for FaZe Clan.
So much time. We've seen Tizian go for this before, but this time Nico's got a better position. He gets ahead of Tizian, and Tizian can't get that beautiful off angle. And now they start to spot that they're going towards B. The long range spray from Xantares is not good. Got B in the 1 versus 4, completely locked out of the bomb site. Nice nades to come in there, but will announce his presence. Up and down like a jack in a box, looking to find Guardian around the smoke, and he will. Doesn't take any damage, picks up the AWP. It's the last round. He's absolutely going for this one as he looks to charge down the slope. He knows he's got nothing to lose. Oh, got beat through the smoke. What else has he got on hand here with that AWP? Smoke on the bomb here as he tries to make things even more difficult. Starts to get scary now. FaZe starts to sweat as he goes for the hold, threatening it, trying to pull them into the smoke. Are we going to get another one? No, they're going to go through with that knife. What on earth is going on? The P250 comes to bear down for Godby as he tries to find a frag, but it's Nico to get it done. 4 rounds right at the offset here on the half for FaZe. It is a lot to play against those 11 rounds, but it's something, James.
Fun way to end the half. Lots of more action to come. It's a nice place from Godby. You wanted to see the wild highlight. That would have been a career best, surely, if he managed to make that one work, especially once he dropped the smoke.
That was so intense. How does Godby, with an AWP, jump down a ramp against 4 FaZe players and actually threaten a defuse? I don't understand.
Yeah, and that had to be tense for FaZe Clan. They weren't sure if he was in the smoke or not. The knives were out and all sorts. Very wild stuff, but indeed, FaZe takes 4 rounds into the second half. Nice to see how people are watching from home. Make sure you show us how you're watching. Send your tweets to Eleague at Eleague TV and get the hashtags in there as well, whether you're supporting FaZe or Big, or the people in general. And here we are. We're about to start things off. Big moving to the T side now. So again, Guardian will have he'll have the lay of the land on the CT side. He can have almost all the angles he wants. So, but first, they need to build a score, build some money, FaZe Clan, and win this pistol round.
Here we go. Freeze time is about to end, and this is it. Small break, a small breather for both teams as they focus and bear down on this second half. Big, looking to stay alive in this series, looking to force things to the third and final map to have a chance of making that grand finals in Inferno, but they got to start here with this pistol, and looks like we'll see some presence towards Inner with that bomb. Xantares going out, some smokes outside to attract the attention of FaZe, and they may get a pretty clean entry for a bomb plant on B.
Three players moving down the ramp, no frags just yet. Gobby getting tagged a little bit, but he's still alive. Guardian standing in the flames. Have to give up their position for now, which means Olaf is on his own. The team's not choosing to push just yet. We'll take the longer range duel, and Tabson will lose it. Three players coming through connector now for the CT side as they move forwards. Dren's got a smoke and a kit. He can bounce it off the wall and start defusing. That would cause absolute mayhem. Meanwhile, FaZe Clan coming in with the frags. They need to get this round, and Gobby's miles away from his team. Right now, 3 players will get a cheap helmet upgrade, so even some damage to those would have massive value, basically $1,000. But it seems there will be no more damage in this round, or will there?
It's a strange one because they didn't just push up the... Like you'd normally see the T's just... Like you get that guy on the default bomb spot, he starts planting, everybody else starts pushing towards connector. But as you say, they just decided to settle at the back lines. All the CTs spilled out. Way better engagements with those USPs.
Yeah, on the plus sides, at the very end, Gobby did 9 armor damage to Nico, which makes him buy armor for $1,000 instead of a helmet for $350. So there is some impact at the end there. At least they got something a little extra out of that.
I like how they try to, you know, they want to get something done here, get some economic damage in. A couple of Eagles, a couple of P250s, 2 smoke grenades. That can allow them to get out onto the A-bomb site, especially because, as you see, FaZe's setup, it's very defensive. They're playing those long ranges, and so you can get out with those Deagles. You can get out maybe towards that bomb site, but taking these 1v1s not working out for Big so far. FaZe cleaning it up, and it looks like they shouldn't lose the player now.
Gobby in the Olaf position with the bomb. FaZe Clan comfortable. They've got range in most cases. Tizian's the main issue here with Desert Eagle. Rain dancing around the trains. Tizian is dead. Reload for him. Dren doesn't want to die in this situation. Can leave the jewels to the other remainder of his players. Bombs not getting planted. Nico will clean up. And FaZe get another round on the boards. Now, what do Big have in store for their opponent? They've got about 4,500 on average. Smia with a little more will get the AWP. And now it will be his turn to struggle on the T side. If they lose this round, Big, then Guardian will very likely pick up the AWP from the T's. And that is, I mean, the chair is nice. You got to respect the chair.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, you know, about 10% done.
All right, we're back into the action now. Big, of course, after the bomb plant on the first round of the half, they have that big buy, but here's the big aggression there. Look at Tizian, he's looking to defend here. Just about able to stop himself to have a defense, gets a 1-for-1. That's not too bad, and Big spill out onto the A-bomb side. They know with that aggression that they have the space to do so. Just trying to force their way onto the help position. Nico caught off guard, but still makes it work. Now 3 players left for Big as they try to get that bomb plant, but it looks like FaZe are slowing it down.
I don't know how Nico survived that, doing 180s, being concerned about the IB position. Now he and Guardian are there. And Rain's above the Pop Dog, I believe. So Gobby, it's not really safe for him to plant the bomb, but what choice does he have in this 3 versus 4 situation? Bomb has been planted, Guardian's picked off, but again, Nico's still towards Ivy. They may not expect this. Rain in the Pop Dog position, having a look now. Tabson taken out in the meantime. Molotov in isolating the player. Smooya, what a big frag from him. With no Kevlar, no less. Not that it matters really for a Molotov. 2 versus 2. That's quite tick. These players don't have a defuse kit. Still taking duels. Nico finally going down. Olaf Meister is all that remains. But surely there isn't time to find the defuse here. Is he just going for the damage? He's got to back off. He's carrying so much. And the round will go to Big. They will make their score double that of FaZe Clan in this round.
Talking of impact frags, as you said, James, Smooya with that orb kill, standing in the Molotov, that was everything. That Molotov would have locked him out, and his teammates would have just gone down, and then he would have been stuck in a choke point. They would have smoked him off, flashed him off, whatever it would have been. They would have had no chance. Such a big moment from Smooya, that one single kill. Got to give him the props there as Big go 12-6, and FaZe, they do save that one org, but this is the buy, James. They don't have anything left in the bank after this buy.
Once that B push came in, Big's response was very instant. 2 plays in main, charging out. I want to say it was Xantares and Tabs and Xantares and someone, but they had to make a move immediately. Otherwise, they're just conceding the entire round. So it was uncomfortable from start to finish for Big. 4 plays starting on A for FaZe Clan. Rain and Nico close to the Pop Dog. No one there just yet for Big, but Xantares is lurking around now, making his way through some smokes towards B. Olaf Meister at the back of B, just spotting. We've seen this before. Having a look at lower, bobbing up the ladder to look at upper. Guardian rotating to B as well. And after the initial grenade, everything starts to calm down. Big just waiting them out at the moment. Passive towards A main just in case there's any pushes. Tizian outside the IV position. Rain spots a grenade flying past. And now it's on Big to advance.
Smuya looking. What can he find? Nothing available just yet. Faze playing quite defensively, but they do have a two-man setup around the Pop Dog. And this can be very dangerous. 50 seconds to go. It's Big. Cannot find their pick. They don't have much. They have no smokes left at this point. They're going to have to burst on the site without any smokes. This will be very difficult. Faze have a very forward setup. This is ideal. Can Smuya get something before they have to go?
You can see from the shape of the train that if that CT peaks, his leg will concede his position before he knows anything about it. It's a free shot. How they come out, the trade frag was there if it was needed, but it wasn't. Rain delivering 2 kills though. 23 seconds for this bomb to go down. Trades all over the place. Down to the 2-1-2 again. Godby carrying the bomb from main, jumping over, spotted by Guardian now. It's on the radar, and Olof's creeping through connector. 13 seconds, does he risk it? He's looking for the trade frag. He sees the barrel of the gun from Smuya, just waiting for him to turn around. Godby moving back in the meantime. It's a free kill on Smuya. He's got the information. You can tell Guardian where Godby's going. There goes Godby, and there goes Smuya as well. They'll take the second AWP, I think. And that's round number 7 for FaZe Clan.
That was a close one. That was a very close one. FaZe lost that one. That would have been a nasty reset on their economy. But they keep themselves alive, but the bomb plant goes down for Big. So Big have a lot of options now to actually try to shove all in here. They've got a decent chunk of cash. They can't get a 4-buy-in. Tabson could buy an AK. Xantaros could buy an AK. You know, there are some options like that available if they want to go for something funky. But they could also just say, you know what, we have a lead. Let's just take one eco, just buy a few pistols, try to get another bomb plant, try to get more money in the bank for a rainy day. And that looks like that will be the approach. A measured approach as well, less volatile. And I think, you know, there's never a fully correct answer, especially when you have a few rounds of a buffer to work with. But I like this from Big. Confident in their buy rounds. Let's see what they can get done, though. Looking to walk towards the inner bomb site. And FaZe should realize the kind of buy that Big are offering up in this round. And you can see they're playing very passively. All except Rain, who offers a fast flank if they do go to a B rush.
If Guardian's lucky, he takes out lot 2. Olofmeister's here as well with the AUG. Olofmeister's position will make it hard for Big to spread towards the other side of the B bomb site, but it's so important that they try. 3 players coming out on top. Tizian towards the bomb train, just about making it. Multiple targets for Olofmeister, but the scope not really his friend. Nice shot from Guardian, a clean scout taken. 3 players remain for Big, looking to do some damage now. Unable to make it forward. HG's going to be a problem. He's got no Kevlar, apart from Xantares. And he's gone. Tabson with 22 HP. 2 players lost now. It won't be a third. FaZe Clan hold. They stabilize. 8 rounds for FaZe, 12 rounds for Big.
Pretty big stuff from Guardian there. He's been fairly quiet this series, and he gets a very important 4 kills. You can see actually how awkward it was. You know, what if Guardian doesn't get those kills? What if he gets traded? They probably lose that round, considering the kind of pace they were picking up on the other kills and the entries and the guns that, you know, would have been maybe available. So nicely done from him. He's swapping for the AUG, definitely a smart choice. So 8 rounds for FaZe, 4 away from equalizing with Big's score of 12, as we see Big taking a tactical timeout to assess their options, decide how they want to play this next buy round. We have a real game on our hands here, James. This is becoming very close. Neither team seems fully comfortable. Both teams are on the edge economically.
Yeah, FaZe slowly creeping up the scoreboard as we have a tactical timeout from Big. 4 rounds behind now. Nico with 15 frags, Godby and Tabson with 19 on the side of Big. And again, I think we will see more from Guardian on the CT side. I just think the positions lend themselves more to AWPs. More people at work, no post-it notes of passwords on this time. Props to you. It's a good start. And we're back into the game. Nico with the AWP on this occasion, going towards the IV position for now, while Smuya will lead the charge, holding the angle for upper. And Nico has crept through half of Ivy. I'll keep an eye on that on my radar. Meanwhile, we have some presence being shown by Big, smashing the glass. Can deploy grenades into the A site from there. Could smoke with Ivy, for example. Out come some of the grenades. Again, there's a smoke towards Ivy, just obscuring the vision, making it hard for the CTs to trade frag together. They'll put 4 people on A. Nico's gone through Ivy, sees nothing. Now he's starting to fall back. Molly's towards the Olof position. Molly's towards Ivy as well. A battle, jockeying for position at the moment. Tabson's made his way into the B bomb site behind the smoke as well, so there's absolute carnage. How do you call this if you're Faze Clan? There's action everywhere.
This is so big style, just like offering up these fakes, just like making it look like it's an execute, but then just creating that doubt. Good defense there from Guardians. He spots Antares walking in, and they defend everything. Tabson tries to get the frag. I think that may have been the opportunity. He's pretty much alone there at the moment. The bomb is dropped upper, so that is going to force Tizian to go up for that bomb. Tabson has to get some kills here, and he's going to get it pretty fast. There's one. What else can he find, though? Nothing really offered up to him, except Olaf on the sidewalk, now pressing onto Tizian. Doesn't look to win that fight. Tizian trying to offer this up, gets a bomb plant, but I think Adrenaline may be too close. He's going up on the ladder to the high ground, and indeed, the vantage point will be very successful as the defuse comes in. And FaZe Clan pick up one more. 9 rounds, but Big did get themselves a bomb plant, and they're on their 3rd loss bonus now as well.
In 21 rounds, we have seen 5 T rounds won in this game so far. Something to bear in mind as FaZe Clan continue to close the gap. But in the 5 rounds that FaZe Clan have won, this does include the pistol in fairness, there have been 4 defuses. So Big are getting a certain amount of success, and FaZe Clan are having to close this out afterwards. Obviously, that one was a desperate situation for Big, but it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, 1 round for Big where they haven't got a bomb plant out of all these rounds in the second half. That is actually really... That makes for the most exciting Counter-Strike as well when you get all those bomb plants. So good to see from them. Also provides a lot of confidence. Quick flash bang in case there was a fast peek. It looks like there's a setup where Adren is able to go forwards there on Ivy, but it won't be able to because it's all coming out of T-Con here, and they're going for the trades. Only Tizian to get anything, though. Smooya and Tizian in the 2 versus 4. Smooya with a nice headshot at range there onto Guardian, and Tizian now pushing towards Hell. Can they find something else? The smoke off an Ivy will give them more space to play with, but this will be tough.
Smooya's still in main, though. He was looking for Tizian's isolated at the moment, and now the bomb has been dropped. 1 versus 3 for Smooya, down to 22 HP. There are 2 very low players here for FaZe, so they have to work together to trade, because otherwise this is very winnable for Smooya, although he might not realize that. Moving around towards E-Box now, there's a CT on the bomb train. I think he's been spotted, but I don't think he's seen them. He still has a minute on the clock to work with. Dancing around main, but he has to be concerned. There could be somebody towards Popdog at any time, and there is a flank coming but from that main position. So he's out in the open looking for that long spray on Olofmeister. He's the high health player, and surely Rain will be activated soon. There he is, there he goes. Double figures for FaZe Clan, just 2 rounds away now as 3 of their players survive.
Guardian's really starting to come to life now, which is so important. Very needed. He's really helped them out in a lot of these rounds with the AWP. Nice peek there from Rain, a very close kill. If Tizian had made that kill, it'd be a 2v2. All of a sudden, the guy on the bomb train is stuck, and there's the Ivy player would have been isolated behind a smoke. That 1 frag, in Counter-Strike, it just comes down to that 1 frag sometimes, and another round like that, and we see a save coming out from Big now as they look to the 24th round. That's where they're really going to get things going, but Xantares and Tizian on those Deagles. Let's see if they can get some headshots, keep the pressure on. FaZe do stand to lose a lot. Their economy still sucks. So a couple kills goes a really long way for Big. They can find it. Nice flick.
Very nice flick from Nico. The remainder of Big, however, towards the B-bomb site, where Olofmeister and Guardian await. Olofmeister moving away. You can see him on the X-ray there. Playing the longer range. And again, now it's the numbers game. Someone's got to take a bullet for the President, and the President needs to get those nuclear codes out and plant the bomb. That's a money HE next to the Molotov. Not quite getting a kill, but will make the remainder of this round easier as more rifles come in towards the B-bomb site. Clearing the area now. Chemical wash on the B-bomb site, please. Antares has got B left, and now it's just got B. Another bomb plant, though. Again, adding to those statistics, but Big need to start winning rounds.
Oops. Yeah, absolutely. It's actually a big win for FaZe that they didn't actually lose any players there. As I mentioned, you know, it's so important to have good economy. And all right, well, so I like you gotta have confidence. You can't just be like, you can't just like disqualify yourself there.
He's decided to, I mean, just use a magic eraser. It's 1 click to remove those boxes around his head.
That is true.
Really low effort. I'm not impressed with this. It sucks.
Well, he did it for Kyo, but not for anyone else.
Yes, this is trash. I'm sorry. The cat needs help as well. 1 round between these 2 teams. Anytime today. Anytime today. And production.
Guys. Into the game.
Well, we'll just tell you what's going on. FaZe Clan are around down at the moment, and Adrena's made his way in towards the IV position. I'm sure they're fixing something at the moment. Unless they've all fallen asleep. Maybe they've been gassed. We've got Antares and Tabson moving into the A site now. Nico is fighting around. He's spotting around the IV position. Around the smokes. He's been smoked off by the T's. And there's Guardian with the first frag. See, he missed nothing. Everything's fine. There's a trade around that main position. Big really needs to get something going. They've got the... they don't have IV control, but they have managed to plant the smoke. Vintage strats coming out while Smuya stops the Dren's flank.
Yeah, very nice peek there from Smuya. He's come alive in this round, and this is looking very difficult. Indeed, as you say, that front-facing bomb plant towards the Pop Dog, difficult here. Nico will smoke down the Olaf position so that he can get across and join up with Olaf Meister to try to hazard at a retake here.
Careful.
And you can see he's slightly on edge, but nice push through that smoke. Tabson, he can make those kinds of moves because they have a player to advantage, and now it's 2 players to advantage. Just Olaf Meister as he backs away, and you can't back away from Got B. Nice headshot, 13-11 as Big pick one up. It's been a long, dry spell, but finally they get themselves back in it with a win.
Got B with 20 frags at the moment, almost leading the charge for his team, but he's still setting a fantastic example. Adren's the one slacking at the moment, 7 for 17. It hasn't been his map. Some rise and some fall, it seems, from game to game at the moment. Big finally get a round on the board. It has been a drought. They've planted the bomb so many times, but this is only their second round in the second half.
Yeah, they managed to get out and get those entry kills that they needed, and it's really nice team play from that point forward. Smuya having a really good read on the couple kills that he managed to get, especially the second one, and really secured Big in some great post-plant positions. And it's that speed that really counts, because whilst the smokes are up, you can get that bomb plant as we saw it was, on the front of the train towards the Pop Dog position. And then the smokes fade and all the T's are in post-plant positions. It gets so difficult. If you can manage to make that happen within that timing, those 17 seconds whilst the smoke is up, that's huge. And that's what they were able to accomplish. And see if they go for it again. It was a very violent round. Will they slow it down? Looking to move quite a few players towards inner here. There's the pop flash for God B. There we go, in case the CTs were peeking or pushing. Very deep on Pop Dog as well. There's a nade for him. Good chunk of damage done.
That may have a part to play later on. The jiggle peeking is not going to help Adren's stats. Looking for information he found. But it will be very costly indeed. That's forcing FaZe to get more aggressive. They've got no control over towards Pop Dog, so they're making inroads towards main, but they're going to be very far from the rotation now, because Big Clan are executing into the B bomb site. Smuya was close enough to hear those flashes. They should know the push is coming, which means they have to go quickly as well. Olaf Meister at the back of the side, smoked up from his angles, just taking pot shots, so risky for him. He hears the bullets, and there's Smuya to make it even worse for FaZe Clan. And I think the save has been called. Guardian moving away from Connector, but Tizian may not allow him to save.
Yeah, they have to get these kills. At least 1 or 2. FaZe's economy is so bad, and they need every gun they can possibly muster into the next rounds, because it's getting dangerously close to the end. Oh, Guardian spotted just jumping there. Falling back to T-spawn. It's pretty predictable, some of the safe spots on this map, but also the ranges are so big. Oh, Smuya's holding a great position. He's going to find Guardian.
Is he expecting a CT in the lounge though? Grenades all over the place, and looks away while Nico gets a spray. Big moving to 14, and indeed there are colossal problems for FaZe. This might be the round that wins Big the game. Hunting continues, trying to wipe out more players. So much value in every kill here, but seems that it will come to a halt as the rest of FaZe Clan hold. But look at the situation for them, it is less than ideal.
And they only save 2 M4s. They don't manage to save the high-value AWP. The tactical will come out from FaZe.
Yeah, Guardian is top 2 fraggers now. Again, there was expectation for him to light his candle in the second half, in a positive way. Maybe that's not a good analogy, considering how he used candles. Put his lighter up, I don't know. Just a little too much. Show more than the elbow, and Smuya will put you in the bin.
That's fantastic from Smuya. Again, Smuya's really getting those very impactful kills here. This is a big one too. That's the AWP gone, and they couldn't recover it. They couldn't re-peak that. So good to see that he's doing well, and also Guardian, as you mentioned, he's really stepping up on train. And you just don't know where that one AWP is going to be sometimes, and it's very hard as the IV player to
It's very
to know
hard
what's
as the Ivy player, full stop.
Yeah, agreed. It's one of the hardest positions, I think, when you're playing it alone like that. It's very difficult to play.
Yeah, I think it's commonly accepted as the most difficult position to play, and it can be very costly if you lose it early. We've got a push from Faze Clan, and flashbangs won't be enough because Antares can see. Now he can't because the Dren has closed his eyes. And they have the position, Faze Clan, down to 19 HP after some smashed glass and some explosions. Guardian tagging Tizian down to 29. Really needed a kill there, Guardian. Faze needs everything it can get. Oh, he's got a scout, of course. I don't know if I had an AWP fired at the same time, but anyway. 3 players moving up the IV position. No more tagging from Guardian. Repositioning now to the back trains. And Big look to do more damage.
Scouts are scary on this map, especially as the Guardian. Tizian takes down Guardian though, and Frame's stuck by off bomb, and it's double P comes in. There's nothing he can do. Nico does have full HP and an M4. Let's see what he can do here as the bomb's being planted. It looks like he can find a free frag for that one. 2 versus 3 here now as Nico is in a dangerous position. Another kill comes into Connector. Smew is the only one with the HP. He's got the AWP. He's working from T-Con as he typically does in these post-plant setups. And Nico's still lurking around. Very dangerous. Tizian working from Ivy, has that cover. Predictable setup here from the T's. Can Faze figure this out? They're looking to try to deal with both of these positions, but how do they force them to peek? Someone's got to tap the bomb here, apply the pressure. Smear looks away just at the wrong moment as the Dren now dives towards the bomb pressure. Nico, can he cover with the M4? Yes, he can. Defuse comes in. Tizian can't survive. Can Nico get there in time? He doesn't have a kit. He can't do it. There's no time. Can he save the orb? Yes, he can, but that's 15 rounds for Big.
Such a long rotation from a Dren. Got a kill and Connector, then rotated out. He was on low health, but he was the only one with a kit. So I guess he chose the safest route possible, but so much time had passed that it just wasn't enough time left when he got there. Nico, he was trapped in Sandwich for the longest time. Didn't really know who was having crosshairs on him. So to get that far is impressive in the first place, but it is game point for Big, and it's the last timeout called now by Nico just before we start things in round number 27. They've got a very good buy Faze Clan, apart from Rain on the MP9. The rest have M4A4s and AWP for Guardian, so they have more than a fighting chance, but they have to win 4 rounds in a row.
I have to say, after the first map and seeing some of the struggles that Big had, even in the first half in this map, despite winning rounds, I didn't expect to see this performance from them. And hey, this is just the same thing. It's the same one.
It's the same thing. Come on.
This guy's getting way too much attention, James. He doesn't deserve it.
There's too much fruit punch in production. Back to water, please. No more sugar for you boys up there, and girls. All right, Big. 1 round from 4. Faze, 1 round 4 times. That's what's required for these 2 teams. Almost everybody well equipped. Rain and Olofmeister starting towards the B-bomb site, but not looking for an aggressive push. Godby, though, he's a human cannon. He's out quickly, pretty quickly. 2 players around Ivy. They could go up the ladder to look if they wanted to, but Smear is already in position, covering for Godby as much as he can. Got a Dren lining up. There's one trying to trade frag. A Dren will manage to do that. Down low health. It's been a hard map for him so far. And now there are more players coming his way. Nico taken out. Edren to trade with the AWP. Still alive, 3 on 3.
That's the bomb down as well. Great catch again from Edren. He is coming alive here by Ivy with the AWP. And again, that bomb being down is a huge issue. So I'm going to go grab that. Oh, teasing Edren once more. You don't want to do that. He's feeling it this round with the AWP, as he still is scanning around for more players to knock down, as Tizian will collect that bomb. And they only have 2 flashbangs. I don't know if there's a smoke on the floor, and you can see Tizian is well aware that that rotation from inner by Popdog is a huge threat. Will he come out, or will they wait for the plant? Indeed, just waiting for that plant, making sure that it's not a fake. Tizian works his way around. Going for the frag. Olofmeister takes down Tizian. Up to Smuya now.
Creeping towards main. His timing had to be perfect. It was pretty good, but didn't hit the shot. 3 players survive for Faze Clan. They can pick up a second AWP. That's exactly what they will do. Maybe there's an AK for Olofmeister as well, and there it is. So that is all the toys for Faze. Very nice round for them. The bomb plants keeps the money up for Big, but it's not fantastic. They may have to consider an eco. And that could be just what Faze needs. So let's see what the decision is.
Oh, the crazy thing is that when Godby takes that fight, I was expecting a trade immediately from Smuya, but he dropped down just as Godby gets contact and couldn't trade him, which is pretty unfortunate, the timing there. But Edren then, he ran with that so far. Such a great round from him. And as you say, James, it's the eco for Big. We'll get a couple armors in there, but otherwise, 2 Deagles, 2 PT-50s, and that's that. Another bomb plant would go a long way, and we'll have to see if Faze will be giving that to them. Sometimes you do actually play it like that on the CT side. You just want to protect your economy that the T's plant on the B-bomb site.
Numbers. One must survive, but how do they deal with the points? They've got support from Rain as well. Bomb plant looking very unlikely in this round. Only a Dren is lost. That is exactly what FaZe Clan needed. 2 rounds. There's one goodbye here for Big, and it's this round. Unless they can plant the bomb, then maybe they get something. Nico, 25 frags now. I'd be surprised not to see him at the top of the scoreboard these days, regardless of if they're winning and losing. And again, it's another match for FaZe Clan, which goes down to the wire. Very common occurrence for them. AWP for Guardian and for Smooya. No one heading towards Ivy. That'll be a relief for Adren. It's been difficult over there. Smooya just keeping them honest, while FaZe Clan throw grenades towards main. Big with personnel towards B. A burst of the numbers, perhaps.
All quiet here from Big. FaZe as well. They've not been a team that's gone too aggressive. Maybe taking Pop is as aggressive as they have been on the CT side. Nice grenade as tabseN runs up sidewalk. Will he get a catch? Smooya's there for it though. Can they find the rest of the CT? Wolfmeister by the bomb train. He's done actually pretty good work. 3 versus 3, but tabseN creeping around. He could be a huge problem, but he's gone too deep. Rain defends, and now it's down to Smooya and God B.
That was a game-winning position eliminated. Smooya missing the flick. I think he's exposed to the high ground, and Nico's on the way there, throwing a smoke for the time being, so he's got to be really careful. Down on the low ground now is Nico. Opportunity may be come and gone. Continuing to hunt. Dobby still around. He sees one player on the high ground, standing in the smoke now. What does he do? He's playing for an anti-defuse. They know he's got to be there somewhere, but what choice did he have with an AWP? And now it's Dobby going to the spray. And Trent's there. The transfer won't happen, and FaZe have made it to round number 14. And look at the money for Big. I think we're likely to go to overtime.
It's looking very, very likely indeed, but one thing we know about Big is they have a strong utility game, and in this round, I would imagine we would see a lot of utility brought up by them, because we're probably going to see some SMGs, maybe even some pistols. We'll have to see what they decide to go with. Already we see a tabseN from tabseN, but they can't get AKs. Galil is basically... Oh, actually, God-B manages to get one. 3 Galils, another AK. So they've actually gone the opposite way. They've decided to prioritize having the rifles, and they have almost no utility here.
If there was no push through that smoke, it's probably the map over, but hindsight is 2020. Guardian and Olofmeister in the B-bomb site, awaiting the play from Big. Brute force seems to be the attempt here. Tizian rotating over quickly. Slowing down now as he passes Pop Dog so as not to be heard. And all 5 people going in. Someone might have to take a bullet here, but there are plenty of people to trade. Nice counter flash. Olofmeister spotting, going for a long spray. Got to be careful though. Outstaying his welcome. The mince pies have gone cold. There is so much damage done to Big here. They have position, they can plant the bomb, but they could easily be picked off. They've got to be careful around this connector smoke this time, but this time, FaZe Clan are still stuck in connector with 3 people. Xantares now in CT squad. This could be a complete disaster. 2-man spray down for Smooya, and the trades are there for Xantares. Going for the trade, and that's it. 16-14, down to all 30 rounds. And we're going the distance.
Wow, I can't believe it. Just, I mean, no utility. They just decide to go for that bomb rush. Finally, they get really deep positions and they hold their grounds. Amazing game from Big. It looked like a struggle. Map 1 was certainly a struggle. The first half was a struggle. So many struggles, but they came through and we're going to map 3. Great stuff from them, but FaZe still dangerous. But Inferno is where this will be settled. We'll be back after the break with the desk. Don't go anywhere.
Get ready for battle with pregame prep, brought to you by Domino's.
Before a big tournament, I'd like to prepare in different ways. Most of the time, it's just involving getting good sleep and making sure I feel comfortable in terms of an in-game kind of preparation.
Yeah, we try to predict the map which we are playing, try to talk about moves.
Practice the night before, I just like to get my reps in.
Not stress out and go to the match as prepared as possible.
It's definitely to get enough sleep. I think that if you're sleep deprived, you're not going to be at your best.
I'm just trying to make everything goes my way, so I don't have anything to think about when I'm playing except the match.
It's how the pros get ready for the match. That was pregame prep presented by Domino's. We're now here going into map 3. Big, come out huge and get that victory there. 16-14, a little bit of deja vu, but this time around works out in the favor of Big. Remember, 16-14 was the scoreline in the last map as well. Map 1 on Cash, and that went on the side of Faze. But welcome back. You have Golden Boy here along with Moses and Sean Gares as we look to break this one down. Lots of stuff to talk about this game, fellas. Good moments across the board. One player in particular that I personally want to highlight, Rain, had one heck of a game. I think going into that final round, he was 26-18 going into round 30, but it just wasn't enough to close it out.
This time it felt like some of the breaks down the stretch went towards Big. We kind of talked about that after that last loss, and especially the 2 against Cloud9. I mean, going into that last round, you have nothing to play with. You have no utility. You're able to take that inner bomb site with relative ease, with all 5 players surviving. So that was certainly fortunate going their way. FaZe had to battle to even be in this one, which was super impressive to see them grind this out.
Yeah, they were down 9-1 to kick off this match. It looked like Big was literally going to run away with the map. But in Eleague fashion this season, Big allowed FaZe to come back into this game. And there was a time in that second half where I looked over to Jason. I asked him for a time of death. I said,
it's 4:25.
Yes.
It's 4:25 p.m.
The time was 4:25 p.m. actually, where I marked Big out of the tournament. But they withheld the resistance from FaZe, and that last round, I couldn't believe that they were able to get into the inner bomb site, have no utility, and have such a flawless round.
Yeah, it's super impressive the way that they were able to do that. And even some of it, I mean, that is kind of what having Xantares join this team. Like, you know, before the questions about their firepower meant they had to be a little bit tactical to kind of gain an edge. Now that you have this guy, you can call some of those more basic strategies that is just kind of like, let's just go overload this and use the skill, unleash some of these players. And that's exactly what they did. I thought Smooya had some super impactful shots with the AWP down the stretch as well. And in all good things, obviously, this was beautiful pinching in out of the choke point like this. And a solid win for Big, finally.
But still, you recall that Bardolph had mentioned, and DDK in the cast, they had mentioned how good Big was at taking advantage of their utility. So for them to do what they did at the end there, just a huge, huge play. A big moment for them. I hate that we keep saying that because it keeps the pun. No, I don't mean to pun it there. But that is the 16-14 conclusion in favor of Big. And now we're going to be going over to Inferno.
Best third map in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I don't know what really to expect at this point, and
expect 30 rounds.
Well, I gotta call out. I have to call you out, Sean. To call you out because you called Faze 2-0.
You said I can't change my pick. So you're the one that makes the rules.
You had that prepared.
I feel like we should go back to the tape and find out what it is. Guys, this is insane. Such a great series, and I can't wait for Game 3. It's going to be Inferno, and we will decide who will face Cloud9 in the finals. Win or go home. We'll see you on the other side.